Welcome back. I hope you took a nice long break after the functions video because I know we covered a lot. We're going to learn something a little bit easier this time around, and we're going to learn our first data structure. Now, what is a data structure? Up until now, we've only learned about numbers, strings, booleans, undefined, and functions. But how do you store all of them? We said that a variable is like a desk drawer, but you don't want to throw everything in there and have a huge mess, or you don't want to throw just a pen and close that drawer. Ideally, you can store more things, you can organize them. Data structures are like compartment holders in your desk, kind of like this picture over here. Different data structures are good at different things. For example, in this picture, it looks like the file cabinet is really good for finding things because it's sorted in alphabetical order. And data structures give us this ability to store information and access it in a way that is useful to us. So let's learn our first data structure, and that is arrays. Let's open up our console, and we have our script file here. And we're going to write our first array by doing variable list. And we will have square brackets, tiger, cat, bear, and let's do bird. So it's still a variable. And you see strings here. The only thing that's different are these square brackets. But I call this list, and it does look like a list, but I could have called this anything. List of animals, for example. But an array, like I said, is a way to organize information. And this is organized in this way, but how do we grab it? How do we grab one of these 4 items from the desk drawer? The way you access an array is with something like this. Okay, so variable name, square brackets, a number, and square brackets. Let's do console.log and see what happens. I get cat. Now, most of you might have thought that we would get tiger. I mean, list, we want the first item in the list. Maybe that's how you read it, but that's not actually how it works. In computer science, developers like counting from 0. So 0 is the first number, then 1, then 2, then 3. So we always start counting from 0. So if you want to get tiger from this list, you do 0. And let's refresh. And we get tiger. Let's play around with this in the console. If I copy the list and put it like this, okay. The console actually gives us a nice look of the array, and we see that we have 0 tiger, 1 cat, 2 bear, 3 bird. So as you can see, an array is just a nice way for us to list items in an order from 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what kind of things can arrays hold? Is it just strings? Well, not really. We can do variable numbers and have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have booleans, and we can have true, false, true again. And this is the fun part. You can also have functions as an array. So I can do function apple, console log apple, and then close up with the square brackets, And function list now has an array at location 0 of apple. Here's even wackier. You can do a variable, let's call it mixed list, and that can contain strings, can have numbers, can have undefined, you can have booleans, and like I showed you before, you can have functions. And mixed list now has a whole bunch of wacky stuff. Now, this is not advised. It's actually a bit of a performance issue when you have arrays with different types. So you want to keep it the same, but I do want to show you that we can put anything in arrays. We can also make arrays within an array. Do you see what I just did here? We have an array that has an array of tiger, cat, bear, bird. So if we save this and refresh, what do you think will happen? We get an array that has tiger, cat, bear, bird, but we accessed 0. Let's try that again without the 0 and see what happens. This time we get an array, just like it says here, that has an array inside of it. So how do we get, let's say, bear? Well, we would say we want the first array and then another pair of square brackets, and because tiger is at 0, 1, 2, we want 2. Or did I say tiger? I meant bear. So we're getting the first array, this one, and within that first array we want 0, 1, 2, the bear. Let's see if that works. And then we get bear. Now, arrays are cool because JavaScript has predefined methods for them. And what are those? For now, think of them as functions. They're functions that we can use on arrays. Don't worry about too much the term a method, we'll get to it later, but let me show you what I mean. If we return this list to the way it was, back to tiger, cat, bear, bird. So let's look at list, what we have in list now. We have tiger, cat, bear, bird. Okay, so let's see what sort of methods we can add to the list. Let's do shift, and let's see what that does. I get back tiger, but if I look at the list now, tiger has been moved. I've shifted the array to remove tiger, and now everything's shifted to the left. What if I do list.pop? I get bird. So if we look at the list now, it's popped bird off of the end of the array, and now I only have cat and bear. What if we do list.push? And then push needs to have an argument. Let's do elephant. And now we get back the number 3. You might guess what that means. And let's look at a list. And now we have cat, bear, and elephant. So 3 items in the array. Let's clean this up a bit, and let's just double check what we have in the list. Perfect. What's another thing that we can do? Well, we can also do list.concat for concatenate, and in here we can actually add another array. Let's do bee and deer. Let's press enter, and now we have an array of 5 items: cat, bear, elephant, bee, and deer. And I haven't told you this, but when we look at the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're called index in arrays. So index means cat has an index of 0, bear an index of 1, elephant of 2, bee of 3, deer an index of 4. Okay, let's do one last thing, and then you can go do some exercises. As you can see, arrays are a ton of fun. One last thing I want to show you is this. If we do list.sort, well, as the name suggests, we now have a sorted list. But, well, why do we only have 3 items? Why not 5? And this is a little bit tricky. You have to practice a bit with arrays to understand them. We've sorted our array, but only the original one. The one that we concatenated, the one that we added, we didn't assign it to a variable. So it created a new array. So now we had 2 arrays in existence. The list, which only had bear, cat, and elephant, and another list, concat, be deer, that we didn't capture the value of. We didn't assign it to a variable. To show you, let's copy this again and try this. Variable myList equals, okay, we have these 5 items, and let's do variable myNewList equals myList dot concat, and we'll do an array with monkey. So now, if I look at my list, I have 5 items, cat, bear, elephant, bee, deer. But if I look at my new list, I have 6 items with monkey in it. So there are some methods that create new lists, like concat, and some methods like push or pop that don't create a new list, just modify the current one. I have some exercises for you at the end of this video. This is a really fun data structure. Hopefully you're excited about learning this one. That's it for arrays. Once you understand the syntax and the structure, this has a lot of power. The last thing I wanted to show you was that our good friend W3C has a great list of references of what methods arrays have. So you can read through them as you work on your exercises. There's a few things that I didn't cover in the video that you'll have to search yourself through here to figure out what you'll need to solve the problems. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.